Hey, Shalom, Israel. We are UPK store 1 West 125th Street, New York. We're about to get this Sabbath service started, North Cal Sabbath service. Sorry for the technical difficulties, man. Every week we're gonna have to get this in order, man. I know y'all watch us every week and we play with this thing, but we about to get it. We about to get it. So I'm gonna say imagine.
Ayashala.
What's that? Phone Hakodam, which means turn and face the east.
Let's get started with the Lord's Prayer. Abanaw.
Abanaw.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodat.
Kodat.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Shukah.
Shukah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malakukat.
Malakukat.
Raba'ah.
Raba'ah.
Ratazayaka.
Ratazayaka.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Ratazah.
Ratazah.
Kawah.
Kawah.
Ayah.
Ayah.
Rashemayim.
Hashemayim.
Thelanaw.
Thelanaw.
Nakam.
Nakam.
Cal.
Cal.
Wam.
Yawam.
Wasalaknaw.
Wasalaknaw.
Kabawafnaw.
Kabawafnaw.
Kasalaknaw.
Kasalaknaw.
Kabawafginaw.
Kawawafginaw.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Kabayaynaw.
Kabiyanaw.
Balasaya 1.
Panisaya 1.
Abol.
Abol.
Awashaynaw.
Awashaynaw.
Mayan.
Nayan.
Ra.
Ra.
Kayalaka.
Kayalaka.
Amalakwa.
Amalakwa.
Wahala.
Wa'ala.
Wahatapara.
Wataparwa.
La'ayawalamni.
La'ayawalamni.
Amen.
Amen. Our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
thy kingdom
thy
come.
kingdom come.
Thy will be
Thy
done
will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
We forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
to temptation,
but deliver
but
us
deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the
For
kingdom,
thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it. Amen. Akak the power, Yahweh Shemi Awashai,
How about Shimmy Awashai?
Baba Koshai,
Awashai.
Lathananaw,
Thundernaw.
Akak,
Akak.
Akak,
Akak.
Barapa'ah,
Ah.
Cal Makalah,
Cal. like, was it Cal Makala?
Cal Manawa.
Cal Madawa.
Akat.
Akat.
Latahari.
Latahar.
Hamatazari.
Amatazorian.
Akat.
Akat.
Lahakriam.
Lahakiu.
Hamathiam.
Matthew.
Akat.
Akat.
Alrakawa.
Arakawa.
Hamata'ala.
Amatala.
Garashan.
Garsh.
Bahashim Yahushai.
Bashim Yahshua.
What a month.
The water amen. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh,
In the name of Yahushai.
please give us the power.
Please give us the
The
power.
power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the
The
leper.
power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Well, bless Israel. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
How about Shem Yahshua?
Barak Lanawa.
Barak Lanawa.
Wayasharala.
Wayasharala.
Wahaya Bayah.
Ohaya Biyasa.
Sapari.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Raka'ah.
Rafa'ah.
Magun.
Magun.
Agun.
Magun.
Hashem Yahushai.
How Shem Yahshua?
What a month.
The water amen. Yahweh. Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai. Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Seal.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
The Thompson family.
The Thompson family.
The Gibbs family.
The Gibbs family.
The Harris family.
The Harris family. The Price family.
The Price family.
The Warren
The
family.
Warren family.
The Buck family.
The Buck family.
The Buck family and the Taylor family.
And the Taylor
And the
family.
Randall family.
The Randall family. In the name of Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. All right. All right. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahariya.
Al-Hahariya.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azaria.
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 Ma'an.
Ma'ain.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Asha.
Asha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Aratazah.
Waratazah.
Al-Yatan.
Ayatan.
Mamawat.
Mamawat.
Miguel.
Regal.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanamam.
Shamar.
Shamar.
Anah.
Anah.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
La'ah.
Yayishan.
Yashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Shamar.
Yasharala.
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 Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamika.
Yamika.
Yamawam.
Yamawam.
Ashamash.
Ashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayirah.
Wayirah.
Baliyallah.
Al-Yalah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Kel-Rah.
Cal-Rah.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taz'aska.
Taz'aska.
Wabawaska.
Wabawaska.
Wa'ayt al-walam.
I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up my eyes
unto the hills,
unto the hill,
from which cometh my help.
from which cometh my help.
My help coming from the power,
My help coming from the power,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
You will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time
From
forth
this time forth,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. All right, Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Al-Damayalaka,
Al-Gamayalaka,
all
Al-Tashakwa, Al-Takarash,
Takarash, all Tashakwat,
Al-Tashakwat,
all Kayahana,
Kayahana,
Awayabika,
Awayabika,
Yahama,
Yahama,
Yawam,
Yawan,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
Al-Amika,
Al-Amika,
Ya'iran Yamwa,
Yaira Yamwa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayata,
Wayata,
Aitazawa,
Yaitazawa,
Al-Tazapun one Yaka,
Al-Tazapah, One Yaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa,
Lakawa,
Lakawa,
Manakakidan,
Kakinam,
Magalia,
Magalia,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shem Yasharala,
Shem Yasharala,
Iwada,
Iwada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Naitazawa,
Aitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakatwa,
Yakatwa,
Al Yaka,
Al-Yaka,
Arya,
Arya,
Yakarakwa,
Yakarakwa,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Alawam,
Alawam,
Wayashimai,
Wayashimai,
Alayam,
Alayam,
Mawa'ab,
Mawa'ab,
Wahagar, authority.
authority.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa'anawan.
Wa'anawan.
Wa'analak.
Wa'analak.
Palashah.
Palashah.
I am Yeshabi.
I am Yeshabi.
Cause of war.
Cause of war.
Namasha war.
Namasha war.
Nabawa.
Nabawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Zerawat.
Zerawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Labanya Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Ashalaham.
Ashalaham.
Imagine.
Imagine.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
Kasaya Sara'ah.
Ayabin.
Ayabin.
Bonakal.
Bonakal.
Koyashwan.
Koyashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Ba'ayanda Ara.
Ayawa.
Ayawa.
Naman.
Naman.
Ba'adama.
Ba'adama.
Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Nadab Mawa.
Nadaya Mawa.
Ka'irab.
Ka'irab.
What was the Abba?
What was the Abba?
What was the Bak?
What was the Bak?
What was the Zol?
What was the Zol?
Mana I.
Mana I.
Kal Nasaya Kamwa.
Kal Nasaya Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amara.
Amara.
Nair Rashad.
Nair Rashad.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
At. Na'awa.
Na'awa.
Alahaya.
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 Shayatamwa.
Shayatamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kwakwash.
Kwash.
Mapanya Rawaka.
Panya Rawaka.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Baba Ira Ya Ira.
Baba Ira Ya Ira.
Wakalah Haba.
Wakalah Haba.
Alahat.
Alahat.
Arayam.
Arayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Eridakma.
Eridakma.
Basa Irika.
Basa Irika.
Wabasa Wafaka.
Wabasa Wafaka.
Baba Halam.
Baba Halam.
Mala'a.
Mala'a.
Ranyaham.
Ranyaham.
Walawam.
Walawam.
Wayabakwash.
Wayabakwash.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Wayabahawa.
Wayabahawa.
Ayada'ai.
Ayada'ai.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayakaparwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayabadwa.
Wayada'aiwa.
Wayada'aiwa.
Kaya Ata.
Kaya Ata.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labaka.
Labaka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Kaha Arataza.
Al-Kaha Arataza. Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
For lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They are taking crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
They consulted against thy hidden one.
And consulted against thy hidden one.
They have said,
They have said,
come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation,
from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites,
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab,
of Moab
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal
and Ammon,
and Ammon
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher also is joined with them.
Asher also is joined with
They have
them.
opened the children of Lot.
They have opened the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them,
do unto them,
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sarah,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
Salah, at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zeb.
and like Zeb.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Zabah,
and as Zalmunna,
and as
who
Amunah,
said,
who said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to
the
ourselves
houses of Yahweh
the houses of Yahweh
in possession.
in possession.
Oh, my power.
Oh, my power,
Make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the wood,
as the fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy temper,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be confounded
let them be
and
confounded
troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth.
I'll say, sir, you turn to the ground. So your Shabbat was used to take a seat. we're gonna pick up where we left off at Numbers 9 and 5. You coming up? You want it? Okay. We'll call it the first priest.
Bring the chair with you. Bring the chair with you.
Please state your name and registry.
Natazab Yahweh Rabban Yashala.
Nakazab Yahweh the Bud Yasharala.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Yashabakta. Everybody know this is the Feast of Unleavened Bread. As you can see, we got the show bread up here. All classes should have had it all week long. Closing out tomorrow with unleavened bread for Maki.
Yes, sir. Number 95. Chapter 9, verse 5. Okay. This is 4, so 5 right there, yeah.
Numbers chapter 9, verse 5 in the Hebrew. Wayashawa, Ath, Hapasak, Bawa Ashkuna, Ba'ara, Ba'ai, Ashar, Yawam, Lakadash, Bayan, Slakia, Ha'ai, Rabia, Bamada, Bamadabar, Sayanya, Kakal, Ashar, Tazawa, Yahweh, Af, Mashah, Khan, Aishul, Bunya, Yasha'ala, verse 6. Wayahaya, is that how you pronounce it? Wayahaya, yeah. Wayahaya, Anashim, Ashar, Ayawa, Samayim, Lana Pash, Adam, Wala'a, Yakawa, La'ai, Sheth, La'ashaf, Hapasak, Bayawam, Ahawa'a, Wayakwa Rabaya, Lapanya, Mashah, Walapanya, Aharan, Bayawam, Ahawa'a, Waya'a Marwa. Wasaha Wasahathra Atham, verse 8. Waka, the Aisha, Laham, Lasahari, Hazah, Alya Hum, Maya, Waka, Basu, Bagad, Yahum, Waha, Saharwa, verse 9. Was that it? Keep going. Let's start at 11. Wala, Kwakwa, Par, Aqua, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Af, Yad, Yadham, Al, Halunya.
That's right.
Yeah, this is in 11 right here, right?
Let me start there so we finish.
I'll finish that. All right. So like verse 11. Wahana Yapa Aharon Ath It's on. It's on. I see it.
I'm gonna keep stuff. Just cut it back over. So lock it.
It's on. I see it.
Okay. Lock it.
It's on.
Okay, that was Numbers chapter 9, verse 5.
That's yours.
And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel.
That's a lot. If you understand what time it is right now, if I may, you understand the Passover just happened last week, right?
That's right.
Bashar, tons and tons of brothers showed up from all over the place, man, to get down and do exactly what the Most High is saying we should happen right now. Read that again, Bashar.
And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at evening.
Of the what month?
14th day of the first month.
In January?
14th day of the first month.
The oppressor got the first of the year at when? January 1st, right?
Con.
So now you're learning something right now. It's not January 1st according to the truth. That's another lie that you've been taught, that the first of the year is in January. That's not the case. We all know the new happens in the spring, you understand? That's when life becomes abundant. That's when it's the new. So I never understood how you're gonna have a new year if a year has 4 seasons.
Right.
How you gonna have a new year at the end, in the middle of the last season? Don't you gotta wait for that season to be over in order to get the new? So that lets you know the oppressor is the biggest deceiver on the planet, man. His whole job is to make sure you don't get on the ships, man. Right. You don't get on the chariots. You can't say it enough that that's his job. He's diabolical. Everything he does. That's why I say, man, do not envy any of his ways, man. Don't take on anything he do. He got you thinking that the new year is something that's going on. Now, instead of Passover, what are they calling? They celebrating Easter right now.
Right.
What was they had, I think, was it Good Friday or something yesterday? I saw somebody, I've been out the world, so you know what I mean? So I'm kind of threw back on these whole holidays nowadays that they celebrate, because I removed myself from the thing. So to hear it, I'm like, oh man, that is right. That is what they used to, you know what I mean? What brothers used to do. So this is heavy based on the fact that the Passover was last week. We dealing with the Feast of Unleavened Bread right now. So what we're saying, we keep these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, and we got trained men, we got scholars who can tell you the times that we're in, not according to the oppressor's calendar, but according to the biblical calendar. The brothers got something on that?
I mean, you pretty much just said it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they tell you, go ahead, sir.
That's like if I mean what you bring out so heavy, even not knowing nothing about the law of God, right? Israelite, man, we are children of Israel, descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Right.
The Most High is chosen people. Even as a little kid, not knowing nothing, something speaks to you inside of you, with these quote unquote seasons. You learn what these seasons are supposed to mean and everything, right?
Right.
But even as a damn child, when the time of spring comes around, you just feel something different. You understand what I'm saying? It feels new because you just left all the winter and the death. Leaves falling off trees, bushes dying,
Right.
Flowers dying. And now you come to a point where the sun is out more. The days are getting longer. You get more sunshine. You get that vitamin D from the sun. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
Everything just feels new. So we have an ear for this word. He who has an ear, let him hear.
Right.
We got brothers coming into this truth now with an ear to hear. Now it's time for them to get baptized by this word, get washed by this word.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So just not knowing anything, man, and then get connected with the word and seeing how the seasons change and stuff.
Right.
Man, like I said, just heavy what you're bringing out because it just feels new.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And to go off of that, it's a time, it feels like a time of frolic, don't it?
Right.
Like you just want to get out there, you know what I mean? And you like you said, you're rejuvenated by the thing. You done been cooped up all year
Right.
during the winter time and whatnot.
Right.
And now when the spring comes, that's the time when the feeling just hits you, man. It is different, like the brother brought out. So that was a heavy point also.
And too, if I may, and it's crazy, right? Because like y'all bringing out, we in the new year right now,
Right.
and you know, Christians, they pride themselves on being Christian. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons why they celebrate Easter, because this is what they celebrate Passover or unleavened bread like we doing right now. They finna celebrate Good Friday or Easter, which is tomorrow, because they say that this is they celebrate it because this is the day that Christ rose from the dead. You know what I mean? Instead of looking at them, what did Christ celebrate?
Right.
You read the Bible, Christ celebrated Passover. He
Right.
celebrated the Feast of Unleavened Bread.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so what you bringing out is heavy because the Lord told us to do this throughout all our generations.
All our generations.
You know what I mean? And like I tell somebody, oh, y'all can't eat that right now. I'm celebrating the Feast of Unleavened Bread. They looking at me like, yeah, that's in the Old Testament. Well, in the New Testament, Christ did the same
Right.
thing.
Right.
You say you Christian, but yes, I like it.
Absolutely. You know, so heavy, what the brother's bringing out the Old Testament time, you finna read that part too. They're gonna bring that out to show you that they feared the Most High. You understand? They wasn't just out here. Hey, they didn't think of the Most High like how Christians do. As this my friend. You know what I mean? He understands my heart. No, they looked at the Most High like the Most High will destroy you right here, right now, for not obeying. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you gotta operate in life, man. If you think you know you finna do something wrong, man, you better have a second thought about that, because that could be the last thing that you do. And Salaki, that's where judgment gonna begin at with you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, the last thing you did, brother, was, you know what I mean? You're around here, you clap cheeks with hoes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, brother. No, you gunned your brother down. Nah, man, you don't want that to be the last thing you're known for. You want the last thing you're known for was to be a good soldier, a man of good deeds in the eyes of the Most High.
Right. So, like, if I may, and what's so good about this Bible is a living Bible, you understand?
Right.
And just this verse that I just finished reading, you know what I'm saying, it brings you back to where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? The 14th day of the first month. It's like he was saying, the Christians, you know what I'm saying, our precedent done changed all the dates and the times, you understand? But the Bible brings you back to where you need to be. The 14th day of the first month, you know what I'm saying? That brings you back and reset your, you know what I'm saying, reset your calendar. And this is what we're supposed to follow. We're not supposed to follow what our precedent, you know what I'm saying, has given us, has taught us, you know, to follow. That makes us still being in sin with the Most High. So, like I say, reading these scriptures bring us back to where we need to be, and we have a understanding of what we should be doing and how we should be doing it at this particular time.
Right.
Okay, so Numbers chapter 9, verse 6. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man,
Go ahead.
that they could not keep the Passover on that day. And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day.
Lucky, that's heavy right there too, because brothers understand that if you defile, man, if you don't went to a funeral, or if you was in the room with a dead body, or any of these things, man, you can't come to them. You gotta sit out. So they was alerting Moses of the things that they had came across. They not like the Christians. Christians will leave from the graveyard and go straight to church. Matter of fact, that's a big thing that they do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right, no, that's fact. They will do that, and on top of that, it'll be women on a cycle in the church.
Right.
And
Also, man.
And two, one thing before you I want to add too, like we had these laws to be sanitary. You know what I mean?
Right,
So,
right.
Like they talk about what's it called? Give me 6 feet. So like, what's it called?
COVID.
Yes, social. No, not COVID-19. It's social distancing. But they want you to keep that distance for damn, I forgot the damn word.
Quarantine?
Yeah, quarantine. Man, we got all those quarantine laws that we trying to come with. All this come out the Bible.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
All you want to go touch a dead body, then you have something. You come to the Passover and give it to millions of people, and everybody
Right,
dead because he
right.
was unclean.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like
And the fact of, absolutely, that's heavy what the brother brought out about the quarantine. That is so. You'll see if you drop dead. I mean, you know what I mean?
Right.
If that thing, if he has a living, what do you call it? A living sin on him, we'll call it that. So if that thing is still contagious, and you was there, you know what I mean? You got to stand down. So like the brother said, you don't affect millions of people. And spread. You got to quarantine yourself. You got to separate, and that's what they telling them. Hey, we've been around this other thing, and we probably gonna have to separate. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to quarantine ourselves. Go ahead.
Okay. Numbers chapter 9, verse 7. And those men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man, wherefore we are kept back, that we may not offer an offering unto the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. Verse 8. And Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you.
So they was asking Moses, hey, this is what we did. They knew the law, but they was asking him, hey, what do we do now that happened? You know what I'm saying? And he said, hey, hold your point. Hey, you know, stand. I'll get back to you. I'm gonna get that answer. You know what I mean? That's just like a brother around here. If you don't actually know the answer, like, hey, I'll get back to you on that. You know what I mean? So that's what he's saying to him. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 10. Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or so like that, if any man of you or your prosperity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. Verse 11. The 14th day of the second month at evening they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs.
So like, I don't think he's absolutely talking about come to the congregation. They're just keeping it, right?
Yeah, he's talking about just because you can't make it to where the
Right.
congregation is, that don't mean you can't keep it.
That don't mean you can't
Say,
keep
go
it.
get you a lamb, make some unleavened bread. Y'all have it at the house. Like the brothers in some of the brothers who can't make it from Canada.
Right.
Or some of the brothers who can't make it from the UK, they kept it at home. I seen their wives when they're cooking.
Absolutely.
And they on Facebook cooking unleavened cakes and shit.
Right.
They doing it. Still doing it.
Still make it happen.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And that was just like you said, if you be a journey far away, you know what I mean? Too far to get there. No, don't let the day pass you by. You know what I mean? You get with a whole bunch of brothers that's defiled or whatever. Since a few of y'all happen to be in the same position or predicament, y'all come together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And y'all just do y'all thing, but you know what I mean? Keep the day. Go ahead.
All right. Next brother, come up and read.
Let's see.
I keep reading it.
All right. Numbers chapter 9, verse 12 in Hebrew. That's 9. So,
This is 8.
he's going back here. He's supposed to turn this way.
Oh, wow, I did. Wow.
Let's turn it back.
Was it 9 and what?
Verse 12.
We'll start right here.
Yes.
All right. Numbers chapter 9, verse 12 in the Hebrew. La'ah, Yesha, Slakia, La'ah, Yash, Yarwa, Mamamwa, I, Bakar, Tazama, La'ah, Yashabarwa, Bawa, Kakal, Kakwath, Hapa, what's like it? Hapa Sak, wa Aishwa, Athwa, verse 13. Waha'a Yash, Asherah, Hawa'a, Saha War, Wabada, Rock, La'a, Hayaha, let me slack it, Haya, Waka, Dog, La'aish with the Hapasak, Wana, Wana, Kartha, Slack it, Hanasaj, Haha, Wa'a, Ma'aim, Yaha, Kaya, Kwawabam, Yahweh, La'a, Bakwara, Bakwara, Ya, Bama Kasa Awa, Yasha, Hayash, Wa'a, verse 14. Wakaya, Yaga War, Afkam, Gar, Wa'asha, Pasak, La Yahweh, Slakia, Haka, Quath, Hakasak, Wakama, Shapatwa, Khan, Ya'ishua, Hakwa, Kath, Yaha, Yahayim, Slakia, Yah, Lakam, Walagar, Wala'a, Zorak, Ha'ara, Ha'arata, Ha'ara, Ha'arataza. What is verse 15? Stop at 18, okay. Waba Yawam, Haquayim, Af, Hamasha Hamasha Khan, Kasa, Ha'aim, Af, Hamasha Khan, La'a, Ha, Ha'ai, Aba'ai, Slaki, our, Slaki, Waba'ai, Ruba'ai, Yaha, Ya, Al, Hamasha Khan, Kamara, Ash, I, Bakar, verse 16, Khan, Yahaya, Thumyad, Ha'ai, Yakasamu, Wamara, Ash, Layala, verse 17.
Walapia, Ha'ai Lawaf, Ha'ai Nun, Ma'al, Hara'al, Wa'a Karya, Khan, Wasaiwa, Bunya, Yasha'ala, Waba Ma, Kwawam, Ashar, Yashakan, Sham, Ha'ain, Sham, Yakanwa, Bunyam, Yasha'ala, verse 18. Al, Haya, Yahweh, Wasawa, Bunyam, Yasha'ala, Wa'al, Haya, Yahweh, Yakanwa, Kal, Yawamyam, Ashar, Yashakan, Ha'ain, Al, Hamashah, Hamashakan, Hakanwa.
All right. Numbers chapter 9, starting at verse 12 and going 18. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinance of the Passover, they shall keep. They shall keep it. Verse 13.
Like, if I may, what that saying is when you, like even at the Passover, there's a such thing, you just got to make enough for the people right there. You know what I mean? Don't overdo it because it's telling you that you can't have any left for the morning. So you're supposed to get a lamb the size of the people that's going to be joining you, congregating with you. Don't overdo it. You know what I mean? You ain't got to get a plate of lamb so damn big that, you know what I'm saying? You're just supposed to have some lamb on this day. Every brother's supposed to have some. Every brother's supposed to have some unleavened bread, enough to where there is none left over for the morning, because this is just strictly for now. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 18. But the man that is clean and is not in a journey and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from amongst his people.
Right. What is that saying right there? That's kind of heavy right there. If you're able to keep the Passover and you don't keep the Passover, you're going to be cut off from the people, is what he's saying. If you're able body and you just sitting there like, man, I'm just not going. And then, like we brought out, even if you don't go, you still obligated to keep it. So he's saying that if you don't go to the Passover and you don't keep that day wherever you at, then you're going to be cut off from the people. Go ahead.
Okay. Because he brought not the offering of the Lord
Right.
in his appointed season.
And if I may too, because this is because, okay, so the last ones that was unclean, they had an excuse that they was unclean.
Right.
Maybe the sister had a baby, the brother was around a dead body, you know what I mean? Or just something happened to where you was unclean to where you couldn't be around the congregation,
Right.
then you were still obligated to keep it at home. But in this situation, it's just like you're not going just because you don't want to. That's completely unacceptable. You know what I mean? And that's what this is talking about right here.
That man shall bear his sin. Verse 14. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you and will keep the Passover unto the Lord according to the ordinance of the Passover and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land.
Right. So what is this telling you? That if a brother you don't know, or a young man or whatever, somebody who's not affiliated with what you got going on, but is willing to come to the Passover, and he's an Israelite, he's a brother, then he's welcome to come. You know what I mean? He's welcome to come. He's welcome to break bread with with the brothers and sisters as they serve in the Passover. So even if you was born in the neighborhood, in the city or the state, you know, you got a lot of times you got people who are not Californians, you know what I mean? We'll use that, or they not from Richmond or whatnot. But say if we were celebrating in Richmond, any brother, if we was doing it locally, any brother who was not affiliated with the school, as long as you're an Israelite, can come to the Passover, you know what I'm saying? And they have to abide by the same laws that's set up for you. So there can't be different laws for them because they don't know the school. They held accountable once they come around you because you are going to tell them the rules and regulations of what it means to be at the Passover. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Right now, I may too. You know, Christians there try to take that scripture and flip it like it's talking about heathens.
Right.
See,
Nah.
heathens can be a part of it. Y'all are racist.
Right.
They talking about
It's two strangers. You
Right.
know what I mean? There's one stranger that cannot get in. And there's a stranger being a brother who's journeyed or a brother that don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Like if I may, sir, like example,
Okay.
like when somebody from Jamaica moved to America, he considered a stranger. What they call him a Yankee. You know what I mean? When a Mexican moved over from Mexico to here, Mexicans call him a gringo. You know what I mean? And what else? When a Puerto Rican moved from Puerto Rico to America, they call him a New Rican. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Like you a stranger now because you won't be around. You know what I mean? So this ain't talking about no heathens. Don't get that in your head.
Right.
No,
Right.
It's like,
And that's still your brother. You understand?
Yeah,
Right. So
They would say,
and it's your job to teach him. That's why I'm saying there's not two sets of laws. It's still one. You know what I mean? He has to, if he really wants to be around you, just like the one cat. You know what I mean? He a brother, but he operate not like a brother, but Sinetta. He done been to the Passover hell of times. You know what I mean? But he fight the feeling every damn year, but he show up for some of that lamb.
right.
And he be in spirit too. He leave his ego at the door when he come in there because he knows.
It's a little sidebar. You know me every other week. The whole time I thought this nigga was a Judite. This nigga, he from Dominican somewhere. I'm like,
Right. Right.
Like,
Yeah, so absolutely. And he be stirring up the most, man.
right.
But you know what I mean? And every time he comes to the Passover, he's welcome. And he always talk about the good time that he has. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So go ahead.
All right, Numbers, verse 15. And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony. And at evening there was upon the tabernacle, as it were the appearance of fire until the morning. Verse 16. So it was always the cloud covered it by day and appeared a fire by night.
This talking about the chariot, right?
No, this is talking about when they was walking in the wilderness. You know, they always had a light. You know what I'm saying? In the evening, the fire, you know what I'm saying, led them. But in the daytime, the cloud led them, you know, which way to go.
I thought that was a chariot the whole time. I don't know where I got that from.
Okay, verse 17. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after that the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, the children of Israel pitched their tent. Verse 6.
So what this mean they rested by day and they operated by night?
Right. So when they, you know, made their tent, you know, the cloud
Was over.
right in the daytime, and then when at night, you know what I'm saying, the fire, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, led them the way. But you have to understand, back then there wasn't no street lights back then. When it was dark, boy, it was dark. You know what I'm saying? You can't even see your hand in front of your face, but that cloud that led them, you know what I'm saying, by fire, some led them in the way they needed to go. When they crossed the Red Sea and all that stuff.
For sure. And then the cloud was protection from all that heat going on in the desert too. It was hot as hell in that out there, man. You know what I mean?
In the wilderness, right.
The wilderness, you know, a lot of elders was traveling with them.
The young and the old, right. Come.
Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 18. At the commandment of the Lord, the children of Israel journeyed, and at the commandment of the Lord they pitched. As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents.
Right. So yeah, that's basically what the brother brought out. So
Another 7. Yeah, another 7. All right. Numbers chapter 9, verse 19 in the Hebrew.
And it's like if I made that cloud by day and fire by night, that is chariots. That was, yeah, that's chariots for sure. Yeah.
that's lucky for that. It's lucky for that then.
So what was the fire?
It was fire by night. That was the chariot. You know what I'm saying, giving them light. And then the pillar by day basically was keeping watching over them.
Right. I thought that pillar was the fire was just, you know what I'm saying, the light that has led them.
No, I just
They
asked
give
right
them
now.
light at night.
Yeah, I just asked right now. I thought I was tripping.
Okay.
It says
Chariots.
you know, 19 star right here.
Well, and so like if I may, we know the chariots watching over us at all times, any damn ways. You know what I'm saying?
You know?
So that was nothing. That was nothing new. I mean, that's nothing new to us. That this would be a chariots guiding these brothers throughout the thing. Chariots, we mean angels, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Angels leading them and guiding workmen of the Most High. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just chimed in, Jeremiah had been said it was an angel, like you said, using the chariot, whatever the case may be, but.
Right.
Absolutely. 19, right?
Okay.
Numbers chapter 9, verse 19. Wabaha Aryaka. Slaka. Wabaha Aryaka. Ha'ain. Al. Hamasha. Hamasha Khan. Yawamyam. Rabiam. Washamarwa. Bunyam. Yasha'ala Av. Masha Marath. Yahweh. Wala'ah. Yesiwa. Verse 20. Yash. Asherah. Yahaya. Ha'ain. Yawamyam. Masapar. Al. Hamasha Khan. Al. Haya. Yahweh. Yakanwa. Wa'al. Haya. Yahweh. Yesiwa. Verse 21. What is it, right? Yeah, verse 21. Yash. Asherah. Yahaya. Ha'ain. Ma'ai Rabah. I. Bakar. When Isla. Ha'ain. Babakar. When Siwa. Iwa. Yawamam. Wala ya lala. Wala yala. When I love. It's like when I love. Her eye. Verse 22. It's like 21. When I silent. Verse 22. Ow. Yawamyu. Ow.
Kadash, Awa, Yawamyu, Ba'ara, Yakum, Ha'ai, Al, Hamasha, Hamasha, Khan, Lashakan, Auyo, Yakanwa, Banyam, Yasha'ala, Wala'a, Yasaiwa, Wabaha, I, Latawa, Yasawa, verse 23. Al, Paya, Yahweh, Yakanwa, Wa'al, Paya, Yahweh, Yasaiwa, Ath, Mashamarth, Yahweh, Shamar, Al, Paya, Yahweh, Bayad, Bashat. Two more verses, verse 10. Chapter 10, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Waya Debar, Yahweh, Mashah, La'amar, verse 2. Aisha, Lakad, Shatia, Katazah, what Katazah, what Tazarath, I mean Tazarath. Say that again, Slakia. Katazah, what Tazarath, Kasat, Makwa, Makwa, Shah, the Aishawa, Athma, Wahayawa, Laka, Lama, Quraa, Ha'ai, Walama, Sai, Af, Hamakan, Wata. That's it.
All right. All right, Numbers chapter 9, verse 19, going to 23, and there's two verses in 10, Numbers 10. So, verse 19, and when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and journeyed not. Verse 20, and so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of the Lord, they abode in their tents. And according to the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. Verse 21, and they would. And so it was, when the cloud abode from even unto the morning, and that the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed. Verse 22, but whether it were 2 days or 1 month or a year that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents and journeyed not. But when it was taken up, they journeyed. And verse 23, and the commandment of the Lord, they rested in the tents. And at the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses.
So what is that telling you right there, man? Basically, what I'm getting at, these discipline. They were disciplined in the word of the Most High. You understand? When he told them to go forth, that's exactly what they did. When he told them to sit still, they sat still. They sat still for maybe months, for years. But this is what they did. They inhabited the land. If it was time for them to go, they went. But if he told them to stay, if the cloud was there and he told them to stay, they stayed there no matter how long until it was time for them to move again. So they were guided by the Most High. You understand?
That's right.
They had faith in the Most High. They had faith that the things that He told them was going to be right for them, based on what we're reading right now, man. These brothers were disciplined. That's how you have to be when it comes to serving the Most High. You got to be disciplined. You got to be disciplined. You can't be a brother. You can't be a brother without discipline because you don't know how to love your brother. You don't know how to respect your brother. You don't know how to be a brother to your sisters. First of all, you have to be disciplined. Then you can be taught. You can't be taught if you're a radical. You understand? If you just come into class and just get to destroying things and everything, you got to take time out. You got to take time to listen. You got to take time to be taught. You got to take time and show patience, show discipline.
Right.
And that's what these brothers was doing. Brothers and sisters was doing as they went through the walk with the Most High. That's how you got to be. In order for you to not be the old person that you was, man, you're going to have to gain some discipline. Have to gain some discipline, then you're going to have to open your ears and be willing to be taught. Brother, go ahead.
If I may, what you bring out is heavy, and just a parallel next to that, the Most High is preparing Israel for something. Like you said, to follow orders. Israelites school universal practical knowledge and the Command Jim Johanna, we're the home of the truth.
Right.
We're the only army of the Lord on this planet. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why, like you said, we learn discipline. So when the men above us tell us to move, we do what? We move.
Move.
You don't have opinions, as one priest said. You just follow orders.
Right. And if I made the men above you that's giving the order, they operate like the angels. You know what I mean? Because your life is actually in their hands, and they receiving the word from higher ranking brothers over them, who they give their lives to. You understand?
God.
So the protectors of rank and order is protection. The different levels, they're different. There are different statues of angels that are set out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So.
And two, if I may,
Go ahead.
and because being that the Bible is so accessible, I was telling about earlier, we think that anybody that has this book is a man of God. You know what I mean? They just make the Bible seem so sweet and delicate and pretty and nice.
Right.
When the Lord tell you in the Bible, actually, he said, I am the Lord of hosts. Hosts mean army. The Lord got an army set up somewhere. Right. And that's the ISUBK. And in this army, we have a ranking structure. You know what I mean? You got the generals, the captains, officers, the troopers, the young men.
Right.
You know what I mean? The sisters, the children. And you know what I mean? You gotta learn that. You know what I mean? Not nobody's from city, but that's something that we gotta learn as people because we don't come from that. You know what I mean? And this what he was teaching them before we even got to the land. He was teaching them this, teaching them set up a rank, follow orders, do this.
Right.
So when we get to the land, it'll be easier for us to take it over. Man, y'all hit that side, we hit this, so let's do this, let's do that. Right. It'll be easier for us instead of everybody just doing their own thing and then just, you know what I mean? It makes no sense.
Christian.
Yeah, right.
Not to cut you.
No,
but like Christians, who does Christians say? Hey, the biggest thing, and it tickles me to death, is that God is good to me. Any brother up here will tell you, man, I ain't nothing. God is good to Israel. I'm just a worker doing the work of the Most High. You understand? You don't divide yourself from the nation. If you know how to read this book is a book of the nation of Israel. There's no standout in this. The only standout in this book righteously is Christ, and He came for the nation.
Right.
You know what I mean? He gave up His life for the nation. Everything He did was for the nation. That's why we go out and we stand on the corner. That's why we teach these classes. That's why we do these things to fish brothers into the nation, bring them back to the stronghold. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because the world has weeded you out. We're trying to fish you back in and put life back into you. And through life, and the way you get it is through discipline and loving your brothers, you know what I'm saying, and your sisters, and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
So that's the big picture to what was brought out today. We're gonna wrap this Sabbath service up so we can get to camp.
We got 2 more verses.
Oh, we got two. Salaki. My bad. Go ahead.
And Numbers chapter 10, verse 1 and 2. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, make thee 2 trumpets of silver. Of a whole piece shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journey of the camps.
And if you understand that, then you understand that what are the alarm systems that they use now? They if you down south, they got a horn that alerts you when to come together, when it's a tornado, when it's this, when it's that going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Their alert system came from this alert system right here, where the Most High is telling them to blow this trumpet when it's time for the people to gather.
Right.
There was a difference. A trumpet makes numerous sounds. There's a sound come together. There's a sound for when there's trouble in the land. You know what I mean? There's a sound for all kinds of different things. But this is how they learned that from this. Their emergency system, their come together system. They ringing of the bells together. You know, when you in school, the bell, certain bell, you at certain time, you come together in the morning. Meet in the auditorium when the bell rings.
Right.
Another bell, you meet in the lunchroom. You do all these other things. So this ain't nothing new to us that they done stole from us once again. The oppressor has not brought forth anything that was valuable for your life. Everything that he did was for destruction. Was for destruction. He's the biggest thief ever to be on the planet, and the planet is destroyed based on the way he operates. Because he operates outside of the Most High.
That's right.
You know what I mean? He's a finger. He stands on the outskirts and points fingers at your righteousness. Meanwhile, while he's doing evil, you know what I'm saying? That familiar spirit that was found in the Garden of Eden that told Eve to go out and sin, and Adam went and followed her. That's the same man, that's the same spirit that proliferates through the earth right now, that's destroying blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So when you understand that, and the only way you're going to understand is like a brother Kamamah brought out, is by being in the ISUPK. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. So with that being said, we're going to end today's class. And I want to give a shout out to Uraga Bar. I see his rib on there, man. I see she trying to do her thing. Hey, Most High in Christ, Uraga Bar. So with that being said, we're going to end the class. We're going to say Imagine. Just wind up. Go ahead.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courteous salute to the teachers. Men of Israel, Madhu Shabbat, Amajah, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahimatah. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courteous salute to the sisters out there that may be watching. Men of Israel, Madhu Shabbat, Amajah, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah, Yahimatah. Class dismissed.